Does Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley have what it takes to finish what they started? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Philly Sports Now, a Philly fan podcast. My name is Zach. With me is Andrew, and we're back to talk all things Philly sports. Now that we have talked about the defense, that was yesterday's episode. Go find it there on Spotify and YouTube. And today we are talking about the offensive side of the ball for the Philadelphia Eagles going up against the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 59. We're stoked. We're pumped. This week is dragging on. And quite honestly, I'm already sick of the media. It's a combination of it's boring. Like it's so funny how not media week. What is this called? Media row?
Midweek.
Radio
That's
row. Radio row. It's
midweek.
like it's first it's super exciting. You get everyone in one place in New Orleans or Minnesota back in 52 or Arizona in 57. It's like you get everyone in one place and the idea is exciting and it looks fantastic. And I'm sure Monday it's like a great fun thing, but like my God, I feel like I'm hearing the same five things come out of people's mouth by by today.
Oh, for
And
sure.
it's just driving me nuts. And the one thing I'm going to start off with, I'm hitting the ground running, folks, and that is Jalen Hurts. And Barkley is Barkley. We'll get to him. He's a stud, should be the MVP of the year, probably will be a Super Bowl MVP. But I want to start with Jalen Hurts. And the reason being is I couldn't tell you how many times national media, local Philly sports, I couldn't tell you how many times I heard people go, well, if he wants to get this done, he's going to have to find the magic that was 2022 season. He's going to have to be the 2022 Jalen Hurts. Oh, he's going to have to do what he wasn't able to do for the past 2 years and be the superstar Jalen Hurts 2022. Andrew, what do we say here? The numbers don't lie. And I'm here to tell you why that's a bunch of garbage bullshit. That Jalen Hurts is a stud. As I mean, Andrew even more so than me. I've never said he wasn't, but Andrew's the one who's trying to like get in fights over this topic. He's trying to beat people up. He's kicking people to the curb. He's like, "You take my quarterback's name out of your god mouth." Now me, I'm here to tell you why that's correct specifically. And the biggest thing is I have here 2022 Jalen Hurts records versus 2024 Jalen Hurts records, and we're looking at regular season average record right now. But I gotta tell you, these numbers are so freaking similar. And it's so funny to me that people were shit talking Jalen Hurts this year like it wasn't the same MVP I don't know if we're not calling him MVP caliber, but like the same Super Bowl winning potential Jalen Hurts is the best way to put it. And I'm going to start off with two numbers that Andrew told me off screen he doesn't care for, but it's just an easy way to look at this. And it's the QBR as well as the passing rating. 2022 Jalen Hurts had a 101.5 passing rating, and he had a QBR of 68.3 for the year. 2024 Jalen Hurts has a 103.7 passer rating and a 65.7 QBR. His passer rating is better this year, and his QBR is only 3 points behind. Only 3 points. And I say only 3 points because I want to jump to Patrick Mahomes, who is across the board worse this year than he was in 22. And when you look at QBR specifically, he's not 3 points less this year. No. He's 12 points worse. So if you want to say someone is worse this year, it sure as hell isn't Jalen Hurts. It's Patrick Mahomes. And I can't express to you how I know I said this about Sirianni already on our props episode this week, but right now, while we're talking offense, I trust Jalen Hurts as the guy so much.
Yeah, I absolutely trust Hurts. I mean, he he always finds ways to win. He's done it at the college level. He's done it at the pro level. There's a reason why he's the first Eagles quarterback to go to a Super Bowl for the second time. I mean, how unbelievable is that with how long the organization's been around? Guys like Randall Cunningham, Donovan McNabb weren't able to do so, right?
Right.
So, I mean, it's credit to him. And of course, like you said, a lot of people want to look at the numbers being down. Well, yeah, the numbers are down. You have the best running back in football that is dominating the game right now. Nobody can stop him. So, of course, we're going to be a little run heavy, right? If we weren't a run heavy offense with what we have been doing with the rushing game, people would look at us like the Eagles are crazy and constantly blowing us up with what are they doing out there. So, of course you're going to go with what works. And when Hurts needs to do something, he finds a way to do it. I mean, that's why I care about Jalen Hurts is he capable to make the big plays? And he absolutely is. You saw him get the Eagles to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs the first time. You saw in that Washington game, right before the Eagles took complete control of that game, huge 4th and 5, makes a perfect throw to AJ Brown. When he needs to do something, he's able to do so. And he's able to make that big play. You look at the Dotson play when he throws that touchdown to Dotson there in the back of the end zone against the Rams. Perfect strike there on a 3rd down the Eagles needed. So when he needs to step up and make the big time play, he's able to do so. And the guy knows how to take care of the football. And that's one of the biggest things this team needs him to do with the run game that they're able to do. Control the game, make the big plays. And that's what he does. He's not going to go throw for 500 yards. He's going to go make the big throw that gets his team to win. And I think you'll see a lot of Hurts making the big time throws and big time plays. And listen, part of his game is the run. I mean, he might not have to throw for the 50-yard strike, right? He ran for the 44-yard touchdown here in the postseason. That's part of his game, and that's part of what makes him so good. I don't care if it's through the run or if it's the pass. Just make the right plays and win, and that's what he does.
And I'll go right into, what happens when you go to run the ball or you're not sure if you're going to run the ball. Sometimes you get sacked. So maybe you're wondering to yourself, this god Jalen Hurts from 2022, he must have been sacked so many less times than he was this year in 2024. Andrew, I hear you, but you're so wrong. In fact, he was sacked the exact same number at 38 each. It's insane how similar these numbers are. And I love that what it tells me is how intelligent, how football smart Jalen Hurts is, how he does know what to do with the ball. And another thing I'll say is while we talk about turnovers, well, I guess, sacks lead to turnovers, but so going to turnovers, let's go interceptions. Another one. You must be like, whoa, this Jalen Hurts guy, he had so many interceptions, right? Wrong. In 2022, he had 6 interceptions. 2024, 5 interceptions. It's incredible. He's actually better in some of these categories. And to think that people won't respect him right now is insane. I want to give a big old, and I'll have to edit it, but a big old you to AQ Shipley on the Pat McAfee show. Just another guy seemingly talking shit out of his asshole for specifically Jalen Hurts. He completely praises the offensive line, and as he should, but then for whatever reason, he just doesn't think Jalen Hurts is the guy. Man, off. And I can't wait to put the little gritty emoji up there and bleep all that out. It's fine. I don't care. It's worth it. And it's insane how disrespected he is right now. I mean, Hurts is just so goddamn good. And no, maybe he's not Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. But you know what? Here we are in the Super Bowl, and those guys they're in Hawaii or playing golf this Sunday, I think.
So you guys have never been there. So I think part of the problem is, he's not the flashy quarterback that everybody wants to see. He's not the quarterback that's going to go for 350 yards to 400 yards, throw 6 touchdowns in a game. He's not the quarterback that will scramble and make the big play. He's the quarterback that's going to make the right read. He's the quarterback that's going to call the audible when he needs to. We've heard guys talk about it, him changing plays at the line. He's the guy that's going to go. I mean, part of the problem is the tush push. Let's be real. I mean, I have no issues with it, but it gets a lot of hate around the league, obviously, because nobody else knows how to run it. And
which is clear because Josh Allen and the Bills can't do it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
so
guys.
It comes back on Hurts because people don't like to see it. People want to see the flashy quarterback that goes out, celebrates, dances across. And obviously Hurts has his moments with that. But, I mean, let's be real. When have you seen Hurts really kind of showboat and do all that? He's kind of more make the play, go in, quick celebration with the guys, and then get off the field. He's not the guy that's going to go get the taunting penalties and do all that we see all over today's game. So I think, again, he's not that quarterback that everybody's used to seeing these days, and that's part of the problem is he's somebody different, and people don't like different at some cases. And the Eagles have so much talent around him that it's never it's never Jalen Hurts succeeds. It's Jalen Hurts succeeds because of AJ Brown. It's Jalen Hurts succeeds because of Saquon Barkley. It's Jalen Hurts succeeds because of the offensive line. It's Jalen. I mean, here's one thing. Think about how many different coordinators Jalen Hurts has had to deal with,
Yeah.
and they very well might need to be with a new one next year, with the way the rumors are going with Kellen Moore. So it's unbelievable. Like what he's had to do. It's not been just, typical. He shows up to the office with a very easy time, and he's had to learn different systems year in and year out. He's had to deal with different media stuff, and again, obviously, he's got a lot of talent around him. But this Eagles team's on another level, and it's not his fault that Howie Roseman's a genius and knows how to bring in guys. And again, I'm not going to fault the guy for it. He knows how to play with what he's got, and it's more credit to him, in my opinion. And he sees again when he calls those audibles that you hear players and Sirianni and Moore give him credit for. All the players or all the quarterbacks in the league can't make that same read. That's why some of the guys don't get to where he's at, and he's able to see those things from the defense. So yes, he might not go for 400 yards, but he'll do the little things and the other things that players might not be able to do.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. We're gonna sit here and say the fact that he threw for 246 yards against Washington isn't like tremendous. It's 246 yards. What are we talking about here? Like, come on. It's just
Well, again, it's they want to fault him because of the rushing stuff too, because he's not a true thrower. But you know what? He had 6 total touchdowns. You can sit here and divvy it up into the 3 touchdowns passing and three rushing. But again, it's a true quarterback that plays all around,
yep.
and he's not gonna sit there and throw for 7 touchdowns. That's not his game. I don't care. Like if his game is go get 3 rushing touchdowns, then go get 3 rushing touchdowns.
At this point, half the episode is now praising Jalen Hurts and flipping off the national media, which I'm fine with. I'm not cutting that out. But I just think we should go and move into some other offensive players that matter, like MVP Saquon Barkley. But I will say something you mentioned there I want to talk on briefly. I haven't seen this comparison. I don't know if you've heard it, but I think it's wild that we went to Super Bowl 57 and lost our defensive coordinator to the team in the stadium where we played. And we're probably going to lose our offensive coordinator to the team of the stadium where we're playing for Super Bowl 59.
Huh? That's pretty. I never even thought of that. That's pretty funny. You're right.
Is
You're
that
right though.
not weird? Like, no one
That is
else
weird.
is talking about this.
Yeah, that's a funny comparison there.
Like,
Um,
I was listening. I forget which station it was. It's probably PHLY, but I was listening and they were talking how like, yeah, I hope Kellen Moore is ready for the Super Bowl and not just to stay after the team leaves on Sunday. And it's like you guys are literally making the same jokes you made about Gannon 2 years ago, 3 years
yeah,
ago.
yeah, that's funny, and yeah, hopefully it is a different outcome. But I'm not worried about Kellen Moore there in terms of not preparing. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I've seen no reason to not think Kellen Moore is ready. And yeah, I mean,
Well,
look, you can't.
here's the best way to look at it. I keep thinking about it, right. All the rumors are that he's going there, right?
Yeah,
That like he's pretty like it's close to done, right? So he's already had his interview. He's already quote unquote going to be the next coach that we've seen people report. So he's got nothing to worry about, right? He's got nothing that it's not a distraction anymore because if he's that far along and he's gonna get it, he's got no interview. His interview this week then is game calling on Sunday.
that's right.
Like
That's
that that's his
absolutely
next
right.
that's his next interview. So I think it's different this year where Gannon wasn't as set in tone there with Arizona, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think there really is any competition for New Orleans from what I heard because the biggest competition was Mike McCarthy who publicly
Yeah.
said he's not going to try and get a coaching job next year. I know we talked about it a little bit with the defensive side. Let's do some offense real quick. For our limited participations today, we have Kenny Gainwell and Devontae Smith. The fact that Gainwell did, again, limited participation, that means he cleared it, right?
Yeah. I think that's what that yeah. So I mean that's a good sign. I honestly thought he was trending towards not going.
I
So
agree. I
as a
and
limited
look,
participant, it's good.
we liked Shipley, man. He did a great job against Washington, but you got to trust the guy that you've been trusting all year. So as a number two, if Gainwell's ready to go, I definitely will be happy about that. The other one I want to say was Devontae Smith, who looks like it was limited and is questionable for the Super Bowl. Anything on that one?
No, I'm not worried. He's a guy that we've seen be on there before. I think obviously at this point you just want to be careful with everything. So I mean, I think when it's all said and done, he'll be out there playing, and we'll be ready to go.
All right. Now, I look, been tiptoeing around this, been dancing. Let's talk about the one and only Saquon Barkley. We both predicted he'd be MVP if the Eagles win. I kind of want to say when the Eagles win, but let's not get into that kind of talk right now. But Saquon Barkley is the difference maker. His over, again, go listen to our props episode, but his yardage over is at 110. 110 yards for a running back against the Kansas City Chiefs is pretty damn good. Now, uh, regardless, he's probably going to break the all-time rushing record for a season, including the postseason. I think he only needs like 30 or 40. We talked about
Yep.
that too. But like it's insane. This guy, not only do I think he's going to crush that over of 110 yards, he deserves a victory here today. He deserves the Super Bowl. And it's not a it is just the fact that he was a man treated so poorly by an organization and he knew his value so much so to the point that he went to not just another organization but one of their rivals in the Philadelphia Eagles. He went there and helped us go to a Super Bowl. He sat the final game of the season not taking the all-time rushing record of the in season because there was a conversation in house that they knew they could go get a Super Bowl. And so here we are at the Super Bowl, and the only thing standing in the way is Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs. I might think Barkley runs for 200 yards this game.
He might. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If, we haven't seen anybody stop Barkley yet this year, so we'll see what they're able to do. This Chiefs rushing defense is pretty solid. I think they're more a passing defense, but rushing yards allowed per game, they're sitting in ninth overall. They're probably around it looks like the eighth best rushing defense in the NFL this season. So I think the Eagles are able to get the job done there, and run the ball. This all starts with the offensive line, and we've seen this offensive line be great and be not fantastic. And you just mentioned the injury report. It doesn't look like any of them. Cam Jurgens and
I
Landon
was literally
Dickerson.
waiting to say
Oh,
Jurgens and Dickerson full participation today, baby.
hey, you had your chance. You talked about it. um, so I think, yeah, obviously those two guys coming back are going to be huge. I mean, we saw them play each a half, but both banged up. I think the bye week obviously was a big time. And let's be real, we've seen Barkley off the bye weeks. I'll call it a bye week, that last game of the year, but we saw the fresh legs, and you're going to get fresh legs Barkley again this week. So I think he's going to be on his A game. Obviously, I think he's going to go off again here, and I don't know if he'll reach it, but just crazy to think about with all the playoff games combined. He's 240 scrimmage yards away from 3,000. And just getting that close is wild. Obviously, 240 is going to be tough in one game, but he'll come pretty close to that 3,000 mark, and that's just unbelievable to think about in terms of what he's able to do. And like you said, I think he's
What if he
close to 30
crushes that?
yards.
What if he crushes that somehow?
That'd be. I mean, we'll be talking about a game for the ages. Then
Yeah.
if he
Yeah.
crushes 240, then there's no way the Eagles lost this game. Let's just say that.
I am so excited, dude. It's just I mean, it's David and Goliath. It's the hero and the villain. It's Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader. This is the storybook ending, man. We are here,
Yeah.
and I watched a hype video for the Eagles that had um it had Avengers music to it as it like builds up, and it had Thanos talking over Patrick Mahomes. And it's so funny because it like had a clip from Mahomes. I don't remember when it was. I think it was this year, but like him just screaming, "We're never the underdogs." And I was just like, I love this because the Eagles thrive as the underdog. They want to be the underdogs. No one is picking them except everyone wants them to win because everyone wants them to take down the juggernaut. But no one thinks that they'll actually win this year, but everyone wants them to win. And Man, I just want a picture of Barkley like sized up to like giant Patrick Mahomes, and it's just like there's no fear in his eye there. You know what I mean? Like that's just
Yeah,
this is it. This is the game. This is the moment, and we are here, baby. I'm so excited.
yeah, just a few days. I know, I'm with you. A few days away here, and hopefully it's, it can't come fast enough. There's 2 weeks are rough. It's very, very long 2 weeks there, and we talked about a little bit of the defensive show we put out there, but you sit around for the media day talk and all that, and you sit around with all this extra stuff, and it's like just get me to the game. Um, I I mean, you just like you said when we talked about it, but like it's just the same stuff over and over again. How many times can you hear this? How many times can you hear that? It's get me to the game. I just want to sit there watching the game, and it's
Exactly, dude.
I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but like it's like when we get to the game, like I hate the 30-minute halftime. Like I wish we'd get rid of the halftime show and just play football. Like
Gargano was the one talking today about how he thinks they should have a like an ESPN2 halftime report where football fans can tune into that during the halftime show.
yeah, no, I'd much rather listen to a breakdown of the first half or something like that. Like I'm not here to watch a concert, right? That's what concerts are for.
I
I'm
don't
here
even
to watch
remember
football.
who is this year's halftime show. I don't even remember
I
who
couldn't even tell you. I
I,
couldn't even tell you because, especially when the Eagles are in it, I don't watch it. I couldn't
oh
tell you
no,
who did the
dude, that
halftime show
that
against the
is
Patriots. I couldn't tell you who did the halftime show against the Chiefs last time. And I mean, even if the Eagles weren't in it, I probably still couldn't tell you who's doing the halftime show because I mean, I probably won't know the songs anyway. So
I'm so yeah, I mean I'm the same. I'll watch the halftime show when it's not the Eagles, but very distinctly, I just don't pay attention when it's because you're thinking about the game. That's all that's on your mind. Like I might be sitting in front of the TV, but I will surely not know unless it was like Blink 182 was playing or someone I really like. But I know it's not because that's not relevant, like so.
it could be my
Anyway, no,
favorite.
that's
It could be
that's
my
prime.
favorite.
Go in the kitchen, be by yourself, be like, all right, what do we need? What's gonna happen? What can change the course? What do I need to do? How can I help the vibes and the mojo and get them to the Eagles so they
Yep.
win this game? It's all about the game, baby.
Yeah. No. Exactly. No, I'm right there with you. It's all about the game, and like it could be my favorite band. I wouldn't care. That's what YouTube's for the next day if I really
That's
wanted to watch the halftime show.
Do you remember the rock band? It might have just been regular rock band. They had DLC and Nick got it was the halftime show by The Who, and you had to play like 10 straight minutes, and it was three different songs just back to back.
That's funny. I do not remember
I
that.
forget which Super Bowl that would have been, but I remember he was super hyped and he really enjoyed the halftime show. And then they released that DLC, and it
That's
was
pretty
probably
funny.
like $5 or $10 or something, and he bought it. And it's literally they had the three songs that they played in the Super Bowl back to back as one thing, and it was like I don't know. I thought I remembered it being challenged. I just remember it was this cool rock band. What a throwback for the.
Well, now that we're older, that we probably didn't think about then. That's what the pause button would have been for. Touched on some of the Chiefs guys to look
Oh,
out
we
for.
didn't really talk receiving core. I
Yeah,
guess I guess we should get some love there.
yeah, obviously, with the Eagles, you have the big guys and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I will say I'm interested to see like the Chiefs got receiving weapons all over the place too. I mean, they got two very good tight ends in Noah Gray and Travis Kelsey. The receivers and Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith Schuster, a solid core there. I think the Eagles win the receiver room battle there. Like if you want to compare them head to head there, I think obviously you have to go Travis Kelsey tight end wise for the tight end group. So I think it equals it out a little bit, but overall I think the Eagles have the weapons there receiving wise, and I'm curious who the Chiefs, from a Chiefs standpoint, I'm curious what running back they end up going with in this game, and obviously. You have a quote unquote starter, but they kind of go with the hot hand throughout the game. They have three running backs and Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco, and Samaje Perine that we've seen them use throughout the season. So I'm curious who they lean on as the game goes into that second half and eventual fourth quarter. But so I'm curious. I'm curious where the Chiefs go from there. But top to bottom, I think outside a few positions, this Eagles team is just better all around. Obviously, you lean Mahomes over Hurts there, top to bottom quarterback, and then I think, as I said, you go Kelsey. But outside of that, I think the Eagles are better position to position on the offense.
Yeah, I agree. I think Travis Kelsey is the only one who wins on the on. It's crazy, dude. It's the same. It's the Kelsey and Mahomes argument that everyone's making all over again. Like roster to roster, I would pick every Eagles player except I think you have to go Kelsey over Goddard and you have to go Mahomes over Hurts. And that's not a slander to Mahomes or that's not a slander to Hurts or Goddard. That's just it's Mahomes and Kelsey. You know what I mean? Like that's just it is what it is. But with how much better the rest of this team matters, I mean I think it happens. I think this is it. I think the Eagles can get number two, man. And I think everyone is a part of this team and it matters.
Yeah, and the big one I think that, and it's not a knock on Nick Sirianni because anyone obviously knows I'm a huge Sirianni fan, but I think that's going to be another big one here is the coaching game, especially when you get late. Obviously, Andy Reid is a fantastic coach. He's won a ton of games here in the NFL. He's got multiple Super Bowls. Um, I think it's really going to be interesting here late in the game. Can Andy Reid and Nick Sirianni, when they go head to head, when they get late in this game, and it really will come down to coaching and time management and all that. That's where it's really going to come down on Sirianni here in this one, and I think it could come down to a big difference there. And Sirianni's going to have to hold his own here in this game, obviously. But that's the one. Obviously we get caught with players going like player to player, where coaching here could be big too.
Any trick plays you foresee from either team?
No, Chiefs I could see a little bit, but I was thinking about that earlier actually, and you just don't see too many trick plays from Sirianni. He might call a play you don't see too often, but like we really don't see too many, crazy plays. But we see him be aggressive, so maybe you do see a play here or there. We'll see something, but here's the other thing: Sirianni is such a feed to the fan kind of guy where you might see him try to do something similar to the Phillies special, right? So
Yeah.
it would be kind of funny, but I don't see it here, and obviously all depend on how the game plays out. But I think he's going to stick to what's been working. He's going to let the coordinators do their thing. He's going to step in when he needs to, and that's what he's going to have to do.
All right, before we wrap it up with our score predictions, Andrew, any last thoughts, wishes, prayers, wants, needs from this Eagles team?
Once a win, but no, I think obviously it's going to come down to a few plays here or there, and it's to me it's going to be with the offense here. It's going to take care of the football and what we've seen this team do the entire postseason, and it's going to be manage the game well, control the game through the ground, and it's play Eagles football. Don't get caught into what the media's been talking about for 2 weeks, which I think the Eagles are really good at putting to the side. So I think you'll see it again here, and just get out there, play Eagles football, smash mouth offense or the offensive line, control the game there, get Barkley going, and control from there, and let everything else fall into place. I'm excited. Couldn't be more excited here, and I think this team really does have what it takes.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a big Sirianni part. Just to throw that out real quick, I think Sirianni as the cut out all the noise person. I mean, you have Kelsey going into Radio Row talking to the media about him being upset about, oh, stop talking up the refs winning the games for us. And meanwhile, Sirianni's over here just ignoring it all. And I love that. I think that's a mentality game. And I think the Eagles are winning that game right now. Score predictions. Andrew, sorry if the clap was loud. I don't know how that's going to come through. I'll go first. I think Andrew will go second, is how I'm going to do this. My score predictions are the Eagles bring home another Lombardi with a 31-29 win. I look, Vegas always knows, and they have it at +1. I think this is going to be a 1 or 2 point game. I'm going 31-29.
I'm going. I think it's gonna be back and forth all game. I think it's gonna be similar to the Eagles Patriots one, where it's gonna back and forth all game, and you might have like a field goal that gets you that next level. So I'm gonna go 34-27 Eagles in this one. I think again, I think it's gonna be back and forth all game, and you might get that 31-27, and then the Eagles get that field goal to go up 7 late in the game, and see if now I got myself saying the Patriots, see if the Chiefs can answer with a last second touchdown. I think it's going to be similar to that, and it's going to come down to that last second turnover from Brandon Graham again. That'd be cool.
That would be amazing.
Because someone asked me this question today, so I'm curious your thoughts.
Uh-huh.
Comparing the 3 Eagles Super Bowls,
Yeah.
are you
In our
most
adult
confident?
life.
Yeah. Are you? I don't remember how confident I was back in the first Eagles Patriots game, but how confident are you compared to those last 2? Because I'm more confident in this one than the other 2. I think.
Well, so I'll start off with this. I easily had my least confidence in Super Bowl 52 when they won. Um, I think all the cards on the table, Nick Foles absolutely proved his point, proved his value. But at the end of the day, we were still going into the Super Bowl with a backup quarterback, and that thought never left my mind. I was absolutely the least confident in that Super Bowl, and we won. Um, so I will say I was more confident for 57 over 52 easily. Yes, I will say I'm more confident now than I was in 57 as well. I don't I don't see this as a loss. I just can't see it. Like so even I watched a clip that had Mahomes from 57 yelling at the holding call at the Eagles like doing his song and dance. He does the whole again the NBA flop thing. And I'm watching this happen and I'm like the Eagles haven't really fallen for flags like that. And there's a lot of like obviously this Eagles team top to bottom, Barkley especially, obviously this team is stacked and and talented is what I'm trying to say. However, the thing that is just it is their poise. Like there is a level of maturity to them that is they have this under control in a way that I've never seen from the Eagles. And there is certainly confidence, as I said, going to another Super Bowl with the same coach, with the same quarterback. Like these guys are ready. And my confidence couldn't be higher in anyone. Like, I think you throw Bill Belichick on the Eagles this year for the first time ever. And I don't know if this Super Bowl is, if I'm more confident in that situation. Just because the way this team has been established and dominant, yeah, I can't see them losing. I just can't. It's the Chiefs. It can happen, but I don't see it. So this is it, folks. One last time. Thank you everyone for listening. This has been Super Bowl week. We had our props bet podcast, we had our defense podcast, and today our offensive side and Eagles prep podcast, our score predictions. It's all here. This is it. This is the end game, baby. Thank you everyone for listening to Philly Sports Now, a Philly fan podcast. You can find our social media in the link in the description. Please make sure you like, follow on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, The Philly Gamer, and comment your score predictions as well. Should have said that up top. Whatever. Thank you everyone for listening. And as always, Andrew, go Birds!